What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris the Atari Creep, and we are in the fucking magic zone. This is my favorite part of any prop build, aside from sourcing out pieces that just magically seem to fucking work for it. As you can see, I already started getting some painting going. I didn't think you really need to see this being coated in black. That's pretty self-fucking-explanatory. So if you don't know how to coat something in one color, then I don't know if there's anything I can do to help you out there. But I did get these, and if you're on Instagram and Facebook, you've seen these already. That is, of course, you follow me there. But I'm going with kind of an iron/steel and brass look. So here's, the emitter cap, if it'll focus. There we go. I'll also post up pictures. I'm pretty happy with the way these came out. And here's the pommel. I really dig how the caps are looking, the soda caps. I really didn't expect it to look that good. I thought it was just going to scream soda cap. And of course, now that you know that it is a soda cap, I mean, of course it's going to anyway, but I wouldn't have known that when I first walked up on this if I was a spectator. But, I got a couple other little pieces. That's going to go up here. We'll worry about where these go later on. So now I just want to, because I'm not going to talk a lot in this video, I want to talk about my dry brushing technique, because I think I do something that's slightly unique. Maybe not. I don't know. I obviously just use regular craft paints from Michaels. Technique called dry brushing. It's really self-explanatory. I'm sure you all know what it is, but you load up a stiff brush, preferably stiff brush, with paint, and then get as much of the paint off of it as you can, and then you lightly brush over raised areas, and it gives whatever illusion is you're looking for, whether it's rust or just chipped away paint or whatever, and it just adds a lot of detail to something that just looks black. However, I like to, on this prop, or this piece of the prop specifically, I like to use a soft, fluffy, cheap brush. These are those cheap packs that you can get that have multiple brushes, a couple of foam pads, and stuff like that. And they're usually like $4 or $5 at any store, really. You can get them at the dollar store. But if you look real closely, it's real fluffy. And these do not hold paint very well. And unless you glob a shit ton of paint on this, it won't hold any. And then when you go to paint with it, it just doesn't flow very well, and they suck. However, I have discovered completely by accident some time ago that if you put a little bit of paint in one of these, just dab it real quick on a napkin or something, and then you just lightly brush, almost like you're dusting something, and allow it to build up slowly, you get more of a worn, scratched look. There are other ways to do it, of course. I mean, you can put a little paint on an emery board and slightly scuff it up, and that gives a real nice, realistic look. But this is something cheap, and it's easy, and there's really no technique to it. You're literally just kind of dusting an area, and you're not really laying down a lot of paint. You're just going to make sure once you're done, before you're handling the thing, you seal it up. So that's what this stuff is for. I'll put 3 or 4 coats of this on top of it once it's completely dry. And as you can see, I can handle it, and paint won't come off. So I only wanted to explain that to you so you can know what I'm doing. I'm probably not going to talk a lot in this video, and you're going to see me doing a lot of things in kind of a time-lapse montage thing. Maybe I'll find some cool 80s music to montage it to. But yeah, so let's get detailing the hilt, get this thing fucking put together, and hopefully we're done with this thing. guys. It's as complete as I'm going to make it for now. So let's have a closer look at it, and yeah, and then we'll be done with this finally. I have the light on from the camera, so a lot of these like gold and stuff are going to stand out a lot more than they really are. Believe me, it's a lot more subtle than it looks on this camera. But so yeah, here we go. There's a top here. I did put this on here. I don't know if you remember what it was, but there was a piece of that plastic robot and it had this on the end of it. And I just chopped it up and, you know, made it look nicey nice. I really like how this looks like there's a couple of pipes going into the exposed area. It doesn't quite connect, but, you know, it's good enough for government work. I didn't do much in here other than just a little bit of paint. I did try to make a shadowing effect, and I don't know if that's coming across, to kind of try to make it look like two separate pieces. So, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I could have just grinded all this out like Mike over at Irmo Custom Models and then create my own, but I chose to just leave it be. I think these came out really nice. I think it fits it well. There's really no anything else that kind of tells a story with it, so I think it does look like it was just a nice little half-assed add-on after the fact. Again, telling stories with our props. I may or may not add on to them. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it be. There's the monster cable. I did dirty it up a little bit. I don't know how well it's going to stay dirty, but let's see. There we go. I didn't want it to just look shiny and nice. There's the other part where it attaches. I was really happy how that came out. I mean, there's a little bit of lifting here, but that's okay. It's just going to be displayed, so who knows. There's the bottom again. And a view of the other side. I don't know if I mentioned this, but, you know, as you see here, I tried some bluing. I might have to revisit that in the future. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did the greatest job, but, you know, you learn. I've never done that kind of technique before. So there's the main emitter. Pretty happy with the way that came out. So overall, I'm happy with it. Now, I did plan on making a display hanger thing for it that was going to be revealed in this, but I just didn't have the time. And work has cut me down to per diem instead of part-time, so I haven't had the expendable cash. But I'm just basically going to make a little plaque that you can get like at Michael's that's kind of shaped like a stop sign or something. And just paint it up either red or black or both red and black. And then put a first order crest in it. And a couple of dowels to hold it. You know, basically hold it like that on the wall. I wish I had that to reveal it, but I don't. That would have been a nice little touch. A few things I would have done differently. I would have thought these out better. I am happy with the way the soda caps and this pipe came out. But the little deals underneath it, it's really bugging me. The other ones that I had, they just didn't work at all. I tried a ton of different things, and it just wasn't going to jive. So maybe I'll leave this one alone as is, and then just maybe do it again in the future, and then work from there. But it's really bugging me that it doesn't have it. But then again, this is supposed to be my prop. So another thing I would have done differently, these milk jug caps, I really like the look of this. Not so much just for the texture, but the original Saber was just too bulky up in this area for my personal taste. Not to say it's not a nice looking lightsaber, it really is. The Kylo Ren Saber is a really nice design, but I like it a little more narrow down here. I probably would have put something in between each one of these caps before I glued them together. One, so there'd be more surface space for them to adhere to each other. Similar problem I had with, connecting this to this. And two, to give it a little bit of weight. This isn't light by any means, but it's not as heavy as it could be. And I would have liked to have had it feel a little more substantial. Because if someone were to pick this up off the wall, they're going to think it's probably a little heavier than it really is. But it's just, I don't know. It doesn't have the weight that I would really like to have. But between this piece of metal and all this plastic up here, it balances out nicely. It really does. I actually thought about gluing pennies in between each one of these, not in between the two caps, but before I close up the caps, gluing enough pennies to touch the top and bottom. Plus, that would have given it weight. So, I don't know. Again, something to think about down the line, or maybe if you decide to take this exact approach. I don't know why anyone would. This is just something that came to my mind real quick. But if you do, let me see it. So I don't think there's really anything more I need to say about this thing. Really, it was really fun to put together. It took up way too much space on my channel. It should have been a 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most video. But unfortunately, that's how sometimes these things work. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If this is your kind of thing, let me know. I know the gaming thing isn't for everybody. And some people just like this kind of stuff. Me personally, I like a combo of it all. So I'm lucky that way. But if this is the kind of thing you like to see, I have no problem doing more like it, whether it be customizing an existing prop or putting together one from somewhat scratch. I do have one on the back burner right now that I'm trying to bring to the front burner. I just need to source out some pieces for it specifically for this one. And it's going to be a real special one. And yes, it is going to be another Star Wars related prop. I will get to horror stuff here pretty soon, I promise. But with that, leave feedback down below. Positive or negative, it's all positive to me. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up folks? The Creep here. Thank you as always so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more. You can follow The Creep on social media and feel free to reach out at any time here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Creep would love to hear from you. And as always, thank you, take care, and bye-bye.